Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonja. In today's video I will be sharing dollar store Halloween DIYs. These are high-end dupes of some of my favorite Halloween decor that I've been seeing across on Instagram as well as on a lot of shopping sites. So let's get started. I am going to be starting with a wreath. I am going to be making 2 of them, and for this I had purchased these mini skulls at Dollarama, as well as this moss and some ravens. These all came from Dollarama. The twine wreaths I had on hand. These were actually my old fall decor wreaths that I had taken apart because last year I had purchased some new hay wreaths that I wanted to have, so I kept these. I did use them at springtime, but they have been just sitting on the shelves ever since then. So I did take my Athenian black chalk paint, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to it because it is kind of at its end and it gotten a little thick, and I wanted to water it down as much as I could. And I'm going to just dab some paint all over these wreaths. I'm not looking for full coverage. I just wanted to add a little bit of black to the wreath. Now you can buy these wreaths at Michael's. I think I've seen them for around $30 that are fully black, if that's what you would like to do. I often just go to Value Village and buy random wreaths just for the twine. Is it twine or is it wine? Twig wreath. So that way I can just take everything off and use it for my DIY that I will be making. It's a lot cheaper. Usually I can pick up a wreath for around $5, and sometimes I'm even able to use the stuff that's on it for different types of DIYs. So I do this for both because if you are new to my channel, I have 2 front doors, and this year I want to go for Halloween theme in a more of a hocus pocus theme for Halloween decor on my front porch. So this is why I thought these raven wreaths would look good on there. I don't want it to be too flashy, so I wanted to have something more adult spooky, if you know what I mean. So now I'm going to just do a little trial run to see how I want this moss to look like. I'm almost creating like a spooky bird's nest here. And once I kind of get the idea how I want it to look, I'm also just testing out where exactly I want to put the raven. Now the ravens did have a little bit of a wire on the bottom, but it wasn't enough to wrap it around. It was enough just to hold it in place, but then I did have to use some hot glue and some twist ties to attach it. You could also probably use just a floral wire as well. It would probably work the same. So I feel like it's been a while since I've shared a video. I am really not doing a really good job in posting regularly, but I am struggling a little bit with creativity as well as time. So if you can just bear with me, I am hoping to give you a few Christmas DIYs, which will be starting shortly after this one goes live. So just bear with me. It will be a mix of new DIYs with some good old ones as well. Like I said, I'm finding I have lost a bit of creativity, I guess, when it comes to creating DIYs, and I don't want to just make DIYs for the sake of making them with no purpose. I want to create items that I can either gift or use in my own decor. So I do want to thank all of you that have stuck around with me and because like I said, I haven't been really posting. So I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around and being patient with me. I'm sure it's just like writer's block. It's a crafter's block that I'm going through. I did feel very excited to be creating these DIYs, and I do love the way they turned out. I will be also sharing a decorate with me video over on my home channel where you can see how I use these in my decor and tying it into the whole hocus pocus theme. So now I'm going to add some skulls, mini skulls on the bottom of the wreath of the bottom of the nest, or the top of the nest at the bottom of the bird. This is kind of to give you an illusion of the bird is a lot larger than the skulls kind of thing. I don't know, it's a vision that I've had. At this point, I felt like the wreath needed a little bit of something else, so I'm going to add these spiders that I got at Dollar Tree. I thought they were a great price for $1.50 for two of these. They look really good. They look really high end, so I wanted to add these, and I think this was what the wreath needed. And now I'm just going to add some ribbon. Now I did add the checkered ribbon, the buffalo plaid ribbon onto it. I was contemplating about doing the burlap ribbon as well, but I went with the buffalo plaid, and now I was looking at them and thinking maybe I'll switch it out. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. You can obviously do whatever you want and whichever one you like. If you are replicating this, you can do it any way you want it to. So here they are hanging on my two front doors, and I absolutely love the way they turned out. For my next DIY, I picked up these jack-o'-lanterns at Dollarama for $5. And I wanted to create a bit of a concrete black look on them. I've seen a lot of these pumpkins on Instagram. Some people painted them black, some people painted them more gray colored. I wanted to go with black, so I used the same Athenian black paint and just mixed in some sand into it just to make the paint rougher, almost give more texture to it. Now, I have, with the first one, I painted the outside first. Now, you can leave the orange on the inside. I've seen pumpkins like that for sale, where the outside is black and the inside is orange. However, I wasn't loving that look, so I did end up adding a little bit of paint on the inside. Didn't do a full coverage, but just a little bit to cover it up. Now, these are not lighted, but I did buy the little battery operated votive candles that I'm going to be adding to them. And another thing that I'm thinking about adding to them is some rocks to the bottom, just to weigh them down so they're not flopping all over my front porch when the wind hits them. I just think this was such a neat update to them. I love the way they turned out. And to be quite honest with you, you could probably go to your local thrift store and see if they actually have even already light up ones. I just didn't make it to the thrift store, and when I saw them at Dollarama, I thought that they were a great price for what they were and the size that they were. These can range, I was looking online, anywhere from $20 up to $110 at Pottery Barn. So spending $5 and plus 50 cents for a tea light, battery operated tea light, and a little bit of paint is not a bad deal. So like I said, I have two of these. So with this second one, I did paint the inside first. It was just find it a little bit easier than painting the outside and then the inside. And this gave just the right amount of spooky vibes to my front porch. Now this one was definitely inspired by Instagram reels that I've been watching, or TikTok reels. I picked this spider up at Dollar Tree for $1.50, and I wanted to give it a more of a nicer look. So I'm just adding some Mod Podge, which was suggested by one of my subscribers. It just makes the paint stick to the surface a little bit easier, because this type of material is a material that the paint will slide right off. So the first step was to add Mod Podge everywhere where I was going to paint it. I did actually end up painting it in another spot that I did not add Mod Podge because it's just the way I operate, but nevertheless the paint worked out fine. Now this is not necessarily an outdoor item, but it could be if that's what you want it to use it. I'm actually using it as a candle holder. I'm using a heavy candle that I placed on it on my coffee table. I think this just adding gold to it made it look really high end and expensive. You've seen these at HomeSense ranging anywhere from $9.99 up to $30. So I am quite happy that I managed to do this one for under $2. The last two DIYs are very similar, and I got an inspiration, and which I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram and TikTok as well, but these are the Pottery Barn ghost dupes. Now two of these ghosts at Pottery Barn were around $120. They however are out of stock. I decided to recreate mine with some Dollar Tree and materials and some items that I've had on hand. So I did get this ghost from Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting off the hands, and I will also rip off the styrofoam head. I will not be using that. Instead, I had this clear flat ornament from Michael's. My friend actually picked these up for me at the end of the season last year. I think the whole box of them, I think there was like 30 of them, was, I think it was like under $5. So I just cut a little bit on each side, just enough so I can spread it out open so it slides over this paper towel holder that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And now I'm going to drape this over it, and I'm just going to trim the material, the fabric, so it's not that long. And I actually want to double it up, so I'm going the fabric that I trim off, I'm going to drape it over as well. But first I'm going to attach these arms, and they did have a wire that I just wrapped around. You can also add a little bit of glue. I did have to add a little bit of hot glue to one side just because it kept sliding off. Not necessarily to hold it in place, glue it in place, but more or less hold it in place so it doesn't slide down. I put the hot glue underneath it to create almost like a stopper for the arm to slide down. Again, my scissors are winning in life here. I can't seem to get the right scissors ever. These are brand new, and as you can see, they do not work well at all on this fabric. And they did come from a fabric store, so maybe I'm just not meant to have scissors that cut well. So as you saw, I removed the cutoff part, and now I'm going to add that first, and then I'm going to drape over this other part. I am also going to trim the little rope on top that's there to hang up the ghost. I'm going to trim that off as well, but I wanted to have him hold a little pot. Now these I picked up during in March during St. Patty's, but I thought it looked like a little witch's cauldron, and it looks like he's holding it. I will probably have to fix this once I actually display it. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put him, whether I'm gonna put him inside or outside. Now for this second ghost, I'm using the tomato wire, garden wire thing, and you're supposed to, well, I was gonna use a styrofoam ball, which I had in hand but swore I had one at home. Came home, got ready to DIY, realized I did not have one, so I ended up improvising and using this one, which I covered in moss, but it's still the styrofoam ball, the right size. It's covered in moss because it's part of my decor. So I did twist tie the top just to keep it together, and then I'm using one of my old white curtains to drape over it. I was going to cut it, but the way it looks, I actually don't mind it to be a little bit longer. And then over top of it, I am going to add some cheesecloth just to make it look a little bit more spookier. And again, it was one of those things, I swore I had it, then I couldn't find it, and then I did find it, so that was good, because dollar store did not have any cheesecloth. And it was just the right size. It's not covering everything, it's just covering like parts of him, which I kind of like that look. I didn't want it to be as long as the curtain was. So you can use a sheet, you can use a blanket, you can use really anything. I happen to have the curtain, so that's what I did. And for now, the Pottery Barn's ghost only has eyes. I did add a mouth as well, so he matches my other ghost. And I'm just cutting out some construction paper and hot gluing it to the cheesecloth. I think he turned out so cute. You can also add lights. The Pottery Barn one has lights underneath. I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna place him outside, so depending on where he is, I might add lights, but I might just leave him as is. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.